Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be doing a pork butt. We're going to be smoking it so we can get down to some delicious pulled pork. First off, obviously we've got to season it. What I like to do is season the meat, let it sit in the fridge on a kind of a drying rack, if you will, just overnight. That way it's all seasoned and ready to go right away in the morning when I got to put it on at 7 o'clock. So again, another shaker, different Lowry's bottle this time. This is just my pork butt rub. With pork butt, I like to go pretty thick on the seasoning, just because pork by itself doesn't have a whole lot of flavor. So we want to make sure we're going to get a really good bark on there. And because it's so thick, once we go to actually pull this and shred it, we're going to want to make sure that seasoning can kind of spread throughout all of our shredded meat. And this rub is just something I make at home. I will post it in the description so you guys can make it at home. And if you do make it at home, please feel free to change it and make it kind of as spicy or not spicy as you like. This does have a little bit of chili pepper and cayenne in it, but it is a very small amount. So just make sure we're seasoning again on all sides. I don't use a binding agent on pork butts. I do on my ribs, which is just mustard, just pure mustard. Take it right out of the fridge and give it a nice spread over there. With pork butt, because I leave it sit overnight and there's enough of it, I think, and I spread it heavy enough, where on ribs I go much lighter with my seasoning, just because it's a much smaller meat. With this, like I said, you pat it in. You really don't need that binding agent nearly as much. A lot of people still use it, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I would, if you like the added little bit of flavor that you get with mustard, go ahead and do it. To me, it's just one extra step. So I think we're pretty good here. Again, you want to pat it in. You definitely don't want to, everyone says rub. You definitely don't want to rub it in, or you will get little balls of seasoning that you don't want to have to deal with. So I think we're pretty good here. So I'm going to pack it up and put it in the fridge overnight, and we'll get started again in the morning. Alright guys, we're back. It's about 7:30 in the morning. As you can see, I have gotten a haircut, and it is not the next morning after we seasoned the pork butt. We actually waited a day. We had some things to do yesterday that I couldn't be around to smoke this thing. So today we're going to be putting this on at 225, and we're going to be wrapping around 5-ish hours just to kind of speed up the end process and keep a little bit of that moisture in there. So let's get this thing on and get it cooking so I can go back to sleep for a little bit before my kids wake up. Alright, we're just going to throw this on this rack here. I'm using my gloves not because of the heat, but because it is quite cold out this morning. So I'm going to leave this on this rack. It just makes it a little bit easier to get it off once we're actually ready to pull it off. Especially since this is ideally going to be extremely tender, and we're going to be cooking fat side up. Hopefully some of that fat will render down and just kind of soak into the meat. So check back another 5 hours or so, get a temp, and go from there. Alright, so it's been 5 hours. We're going to check the temp. We're at 144, so there, 49 here. Oh, juice is flowing out of this thing. Okay, so now we are going to double wrap it in tin foil, and then put it back on here and let it sit until it's up to 195-ish. So oh yeah, it's already falling apart in my hand. One of the reasons for double wrapping it too is that we want to make sure we're saving all that juice, because as this thing renders down, we're going to get a lot of juice that we can reuse actually directly on all the trimmings. We want to do this really as fast as possible, because as soon as we pull it off here, we start losing heat on the outside. So we want to get it wrapped good and tight as soon as possible. And then I'm going to flip this, so the end that I had towards the heat before, I'm going to put the other end towards the heat, just so we can kind of maintain a consistent temperature. There we go. Be back in a few hours. Alright guys, it's been another few hours. It is about 4 o'clock now, so we've been on here a total of around 10 hours, I think. 9 hours maybe. And we just hit temp 195, 196-ish. So I'm going to pull it out, I'm going to put it in the cooler and let it rest for at least half an hour. Probably going to wait till my wife and kids get home so I can pull it and we can eat it. Alright guys, we've waited about an hour and a half now, so I'm going to pull this out and we're going to unwrap it and see how it looks. So there's a ton of juice down here. Ooh, the smell is amazing. Oh, I wish you guys could smell this. Alright, so one real, save as much of this juice as I can here. One easy and simple way to tell if your pork butt is done. Grab that bone. Should come out nice and clean, just like that. Ooh, dogs are going to love this. So put this in here. You can see we already got a little bit kind of coming off here. Oh yeah. Yep. That is going to be some delicious pulled pork. And my camera girl here wanted to be the first to try it, so come over here and grab a little bite.
Wait, I have to...
Come on, get over here.
I'm going.
This is my daughter. She has been running the camera. Might be a little warm, but got a little bit of bark in there. Good? Took too big of a bite, just like I did the first video, didn't you?
That is good.
And she is the pickiest eater I know, so I know if she says it's good, everyone's gonna love this.
I don't like anything.
Oh, I wish you guys could smell this though. Man, does it smell good. So I'm gonna take it in the house. We got 2 other kids and a wife that are really hungry and getting to that point where we need to feed them. So I will see you guys in the next video. Remember to like and subscribe and click the notification bell so you get a notification every time we put a new video out. Next few videos, bacon should be coming up here at the end of the week. And then we just put in our dry aged full ribeye roast. So that should be done. We put that in on Friday, so that should be done in 32-ish days. So keep an eye out for that. That one, I'm really excited for that one. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright guys, we are to the whiskey portion of the video, or the bourbon in particular. I wanted to do this one today because I'm not sure a lot of people really know about the Evan Williams white label. Typically people see Evan Williams' name and kind of look at it as, you know, that bar mixer garbage stuff. So the white label is actually very, very good. This is what I would consider my daily drinker. So we'll give it a shot here. I normally drink this on the rocks, but we're going to try it neat today. I wasn't aware of this until probably 6 months ago or so. My brother-in-law turned me onto it, and man, it's fantastic. For this giant bottle, it's $30, $28.99 I think. So excellent value, and for that price, it's fantastic whiskey. So let's give it a shot here. A little nutty. Does have a nice full flavor to it. This is one of the reasons why I like this. It's well rounded. It's not overly strong. It's 50% or it's 100 proof, so you're gonna get good octane out of it. But the flavor, like I said, is fantastic. It doesn't taste super heavy. Just overall very, very good. We'll try the classic on the rocks here. I like it more on the rocks. Just as I've said before, I like a cold drink. I do have whiskey rocks that I will sometimes use with this. I do really like that because it gives you that cold liquid, along with not dumbing down the flavor or distilling it down with the water. So I would say this one would be a good one on the rocks. Definitely pick up a bottle. Great to have around, great for mixers. Just an all around great to have around bourbon. So, yeah, I mean, we better try it again. So good. See you guys next time.